Huh. Well, and Keith, you said that you'd done something with that to
Well, I just
try
had to
to
change
the
the max
Tyler.
heap
Yeah.
with for the Tyler, but I'm running a real lean. I only have eight gigs of memory on my laptop, but I haven't had it loaded in 20 seconds.
All right.
I wonder what the deal
Good
is.
evening, everybody.
Hey, how are you doing, David?
Good. Thank you.
Good. So, all right. Well, hopefully everyone's in the map. Everyone can see the map. The innovation that Alan was able to do with this particular version is if you take a look at next to the retire button where it has the premier charts, he's got all the charts there in a tab format just like the regs one, and the assault melee page 2 is the most recent one from Marshal Enterprise. So it should then be fit with that. Then the other major innovation is you can now straddle a hex side. So for the units that are in 2 hexes of line or 2 hexes of skirmish, you can now, you don't need the extended marker. You can just have them straddle the hex side. So,
And there's nothing special to you just do it.
yep, you just pick them up and you can then move them and have them straddling a hex side, just like you would on the map at home.
Very nice.
Yeah. Now, the one innovation that he was trying to do with version, what was it, 1.25, is to number all the hexes so that way we'd know where things started from and where they are, right? So sometimes stuff moves and you jiggle it wrong, and the next thing you know, you've thrown your piece across the map. So he's working on that. And then the other thing that he was doing was with a lot of the games out there, various and sundry Vassal modules, they will create a trail showing where the unit went from this hex to this hex to this hex to this hex to this hex. And it leaves this little blue trail for the French, a little green trail for the Russians, a little gray trail for the Austrians. And then once you're done, once the French, for example, have done all their movement, then you just click the little move button, which is over at the far right of the buttons, and then it deletes all of those little trail markers, which is kind of cool. And so for a big thing like this, where we're trying, where are you at and what is it, and we're trying to figure out how many movement points it costs, he thought that might be something for us to check out. So he had posted some stuff on how to update stuff, but I figured I didn't have enough time today to try to go through that, and I figured trying to get everybody else on board with a new module right now would be a big time suck.
Yeah.
So we'll just play with the one we got now. It's a perfectly good one. I kind of messed around with a module a week ago when he first came up with this one, and it seemed to work without any hiccups. So if we're happy with it, we'll keep working with it. And if we want to try the other one, I'll see if we can't experiment with that and get that going in some way, shape, or form. So, all right. Anything else?
I made an adjustment because I made an error last week in my movement. I'm going to do that right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, something just moved a little further. Okay.
Moved actually a little back a little. He went one hex too far from where he started.
Yep.
A hex too far. Okay.
That's right. Instead of a bridge too far, it's a hex too far. There you go.
Which only gamers would get if that was a movie title.
Exactly. So there'd be a whole of maybe 100 people showing up at the theater there worldwide. So, okay. And then the other thing is I, on Wednesday of last week, talking to Jim about the issue of cavalry charges and what constitutes 3 straight, and for him and how they play the game and how it should be read is 3 straight down the hex grid. So it's not 3 straight as the crow flies. So that means you have to sometimes move off to the left or the right to line it up to then charge 3 straight. And he was going to talk to Dennis about maybe clearing up the language a little bit. But the idea is for whether we think about it like 5th edition, that every time you turn a new direction, you're paying 2 movement points. That is changing your orientation as you move, like a torpedo, or the way they have it written, you change direction. So if you're going like north, and then suddenly you go northwest, that's a change of direction. That's now going to cost you 2 movement points to do that. So that's the idea behind that rule. So even though your orientation might stay the same, you still have to pay 2 points for changing direction. So the way to do it is how we've been doing it, which is just you move and then you turn and then you move and then you turn, kind of a thing, to keep it simple. And that's how they're planning on adjusting the rules to make it hopefully clearer for everybody. So I thought I would put that out there.
Okay, well, that doesn't make any sense in some respects,
but that's that's the
way
way
they're
they're
doing it.
that's the way they're doing it. And that's what I said. I even showed him. Keith was there, and I'm like, okay, well, from here to here, it's a straight line, but you have to go in a ziggy-zaggy kind of way to get there based on the hex thing. And he's like, no, it's a game. You have to move your pieces. Just you can't say it's chess. The chessboard, you got to move. You got to stay on the squares. You have to do whatever. And so that was the general idea. It's got to stay that way. So I thought I would share that now. I don't know that we'll have any charges, but if we do, that's the way to think about it. All right.
well, one thing I would submit, since we can't shoot because it's foggy and we can't shoot cavalry more than 5 hexes, I would assume that you probably couldn't do a cavalry charge of more than 5 hexes for a little while, because you'd just be charging off into the fog. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know with the rules it talked about the guns have a shorter range and the skirmishers can't fire at extended range. I know that with like Auerstadt and some of the others, you can't charge until the fog lifts. But unless somebody saw something in the rules, otherwise.
oh, there isn't.
Yeah.
That I know of, but
Yeah. But you're right. It should be there. if it's foggy, I would think that it would, because otherwise you don't see anybody until they're right on top of you. But similarly, there's no restriction on infantry forming square at for in some of the rules, like you can't see it until it's like 2 hexes away. Like I think at Denowitz with the blowing dust. So if you have there's some things where it impedes the cavalry, but it impedes the infantry too. But yeah, we'll just go with what they've got for the moment. So
Where is that rule for the
fog? I thought it was with the general scenario rule, wasn't it? So at the top of the scenario, it says until through. I don't know if it's through the 940 turn, because I don't have it right here in front of me. But it's basically from the 840 turn to the 940 turn. There's fog.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know the time.
Yeah. So I think 940. It either ends at the beginning of the 940 turn or at the end of that 940 turn, but I don't have it right here in front of me to read it. And we don't have to worry about it for a couple of weeks. All right. It looks like the Russians are unpacking their regiments. French players, shall we meet down in the French game room to discuss things, since we've only just had a chance to get online here? Is that all right with you, gentlemen?
Yep.
Cool. All right.
Right.
Doot. Well, let's see if Keith comes and joins us. Come on, Keith. Okay.
Brainwashing him.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I'm gonna worry.
Everybody's leaving.
I know. Come on, Keith. Yeah. Here, I'll pop back up to the lobby. Keith. Oh, he's got disconnected. Exciting. All right. He's... Oh, there he is. Wondered what happened to you there, Keith.
I could not get out of the lobby to come in here, so I had to close
That's
the call.
really weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird. All right. So I think the general consensus is it looks like they're focusing a lot of their efforts towards the center. And so I was planning on shifting those 2 infantry divisions over to the right towards you, Keith, to kind of hold on to the 2 little villages there, Punktowitz and Jerkowskwitz. Yeah, I'm sure I will butcher those over the course of the week.
You'll hear about it.
I'm sure we'll have some fine Moravian viewers who will get very upset at our pronunciation issues.
Do with Discord, does it record all the lobby and everything, all the different rooms?
No, Discord. So Discord, I'm not aware that it's recording anything, but the live stream is only recording what I can hear. And so any of our French conversations are being broadcast on YouTube. So if they wanted to listen in, and see what we were talking about, they could do that. I mean, I don't really care. Yeah. So, but so that's kind of what I'm.
Fans that want to hear what the coalition is secretly talking about.
Yeah. Well, if I could hear it, then they could hear it. So you guys are chatting. So like when we were doing the Lin E game, when we would split off, and I would be doing stuff with Albert, they could hear Albert and I chatting, and then they wouldn't hear you guys conversing until Albert and I came over to join the game room or the lobby where you and David were.
Okay.
So that's kind of how that works. So I think what you can do, Keith, is I'm going to take Kellerman's light cavalry here by Stanton. And
Right, you're going to take all that.
Yeah, I'm going to take all 4 of those. I would move these other guys that are there by, Bostwitz, and move them over a little bit. And then
Right.
you can have this other cavalry that's by Swywitz and kind of move it here in between the 2. And then with one of the battalions of infantry, you can march it over to Swywitz and just have it garrison that place, so they couldn't like sneak in a Cossack and take the whole village, kind of a thing. And their Cossacks don't hold up too well to musket fire. They'll make a morale check just smelling gunpowder, whether they get hit or not. So I'll do that with Kellerman's guys right off the bat. And then and then you've got Suchet's
coming down.
division coming in, and then you got Caffarelli's coming in the turn after that.
And do they both come in down that road?
Yep, they're both
Or
coming in on that road. Yeah, yeah. So you should have more than enough stuff to play with over there,
Yeah,
and then we'll just kind of see what to do. It could be the sort of thing that we will. They've got a lot of their stuff. They don't have a lot kind of holding the road, but we're mostly on the defense here for the first couple of hours of the game.
sure.
So, maybe what you can do is put Caffarelli here between Santon and Jerkowitz. I'll just call it Jerkowitz there.
Which is right below.
Yeah.
That'd be on my right flank. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll just refer to things on the map being left or right. So it's left of Santon. It's that little town there.
So
So I would say put Souchet there around Santon, and then bring Caffarelli down into the gap between those. And that way, then, depending on which way they decide they're going to drive things, we can have then Caffarelli help out in the center if we need to. We should have some options.
Because they're bringing a lot of some heavy and light cavalry up through.
Yeah, Blasowitz.
From Blasowitz, right?
Yeah, but I've got
boatload of light cavalry.
Yeah, I've got the Hauptpohl's cuirassiers over here, so we should hopefully be able to hold their own for a while. And it's going to take them over an hour to get any infantry anywhere near our infantry. So if they do something unsupported with their cavalry, we'll just see if we can't, make them wish they hadn't done that. So, yeah.
Oh, you've got Marshal Murat up there.
Of course, I got Marshal Murat up there.
Got to do a grand charge then, right away.
Exactly. Hopefully, he won't.
Now, I'm going to come in and down that road in road formation.
Yeah, and then you want to get out of it, right? Because that's
what I was going to say. I need to get out of that pretty quick
Yeah.
if he's got his cavalry coming up.
Yeah, because he could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
He can get there.
Yeah, he can get there with at least a couple of them. So, it's.
Where's Caffarelli? Who you're talking about?
Caffarelli, he doesn't come on until he comes on at I think 8:40.
Okay, he's not on the board though.
Nope, he's not on the board.
Oh, okay.
I got Souchet up there because he was already on the board.
Yeah, so Souchet will.
And then there's a whole bunch of stuff coming in at 9 up there.
Yep. So that's more fun stuff.
And I just have what I have over here, right?
You've got everything. Just so we're clear, you're in charge of Kobelnitz and everything to the left of that.
Okay.
So you've got everything that's there on the map plus the reinforcements that are coming in for Davout. You'll roll for. I think there's only one regiment left. And I think now it's a 3, 4, 5, or 6, and they'll show up. And then you've got.
Which one is that? Which one do I roll for?
This guy here. Yeah. So this guy is the one you'll roll for, and if he shows up, then the artillery shows up with him. And then starting at 9 o'clock, there's more dragoons that show up over there, and you roll for their arrival, just like you did. So you'll have something to work with, and depending on what
he throws,
he does, right? It could be that we use you to kind of move around or hit him in the flank or who knows what. If they're focusing everything on the center, then you and Keith might be doing stuff on their flank or some sort of pincer movement. Until we're ready to kind of go with everything. So, okay, does everyone know what they're doing?
Yeah. Yeah. So we roll every 20 minutes for the arrival of those pieces
So
for that fourth line.
for that last remaining one,
Mm-hmm.
if he doesn't make it this turn, then you'll roll for him next turn, and then he'd have to roll a 2 through the 6 to show up.
Okay. All right.
And then on the following one, it's automatic, right?
Okay.
Because it's a 1 through 6. Well, they're forced marching from Vienna, I think.
From Vienna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's their story.
We needed to hire the Viennese taxi cabs.
Definitely. All right. Everyone know what they're doing?
Yep.
Okay, or at least
Momentarily.
we can pretend. Cool. All right. And I'm going to say hi to some of our viewers. Let's see, we've got Kev from the Big Board Gaming channel. We got Tim Green. Greetings, guys. All right, let's go back up to the lobby. All right, gentlemen. Yeah, and Keith is having problems. Keith, were you able to get to the lobby without too much trouble?
I just have to log off and then reconnect.
Huh, that's really weird.
Yeah, I don't understand what's happening today, but
Was it doing
Figured
that
out.
last week with you?
no.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, maybe you're...
But since I got a workaround, I won't worry
Might
about
have to
it.
do some adjustments in his settings in Discord here.
Yeah. Maybe they've changed.
Yeah, it's always fun.
When
But
I
at least
wasn't
you're
looking.
able to get where you need to go. So okay, so I think the French were ready to move. So first of all, let's see, we have to go
Charges?
through... Yeah, exactly. Do we have any charges? I do not have any charges. Keith, do you have any charges?
I do not.
Robert, do you have any charges?
Let me think. No.
Okay, I guess the answer is no. So we can go into our separate little things. Keith, why don't you and Mr. Mignoret stay in the lobby? That way you don't have to try to switch to a different room.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Brennan, I'll meet you in game room 1.
And I'll see Robert in game room 2.
Okay, so
Okay.
we're 10 minutes approximately. All right, how are you doing, Brennan?
Oh, this is so much fun. Thank you so much for setting this up.
Oh, well, I'm very happy to, and I'm so glad that you found this module. I mean, it's a really lovely module. I'm glad that we're able to get some stuff done. I'm over here moving some of Kellerman's cavalry over by Santon. So if you are looking, I'm over here with all of that fun stuff.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Those hussars that are in, those are David M's
1,
units.
2,
So if
3,
you guys
4,
start from-
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, no, that's fine. I kind of figured those were his, but I needed to get some cavalry over to my part of the universe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see, we'll put those guys there. And 1, 2. So now I'm moving the heavy cavalry over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. And we'll turn them. All right, and these guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. All right, okay, so that's that for the cavalry. And let's see. All right, now I'm over here in the center with, I think this is Vendôme. So I'm going to get rid of this extended line marker. This guy's just going to be here. So let's go 1. So we're going to turn these guys. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 8, he'll go into skirmish. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7's right there. All right, these guys are going to turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these guys are all going to be facing that way. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, who's this? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put those guys there. Whoops. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these guys will move over here. All right. Going across the creek. Now I'm over here with, I think this is St. Hilaire's group, yeah. So these guys are going to turn around. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these guys are going to turn around. And that's 1. And the stream. That's going to be 4, 5, 6. All right. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This guy's going to turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and then these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and then I think that's it for me. Everybody else is moving all of their other stuff.
So you moved the light cav, the heavy cav.
Yep, so I moved Kellerman's cavalry. I moved the heavy cavalry here, which is, I think this is the hop poles. I moved Vendôme's division, and I moved St. Hilaire's division. And then Robert's got everything else over on the other side of the world. So hopefully he's doing something with those. And then Keith's got everything on the other side of the world. So hopefully they're moving their guys around. So, yeah. So as far as movement goes, I mean, that's not anything that's too terribly complicated at this point in time.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't. There's no defensive fire at this particular juncture. There's no offensive fire at this particular juncture. So we should be okay, I think, in that regard.
Cool. Then, did that combined arms slide deck look okay?
Yeah, it did. It did. It looked good. And although it's, I mean, the Nofzinger, the Nofzinger one is, I mean, just the scan of it is not as clear as it might have been. I don't know if it was a digital copy or what. But
Yeah, somebody else did that. I just found it online, so.
oh, okay, okay, yeah. So I think that's a interesting and well worth having in some way, shape, or form.
Yep. In terms of timing, I was sort of thinking Saturday of all the days that you mentioned.
Okay, yeah. So I teach archery on Saturdays. I usually wrap up and I'm home by about 4 o'clock. And so if we wanted to do something about 5 o'clock on a Saturday and just kind of do that for like an hour, that would work because that's 8 o'clock your time. It's 5 o'clock my time. It's 7 o'clock in other parts of the world there. Is it 8 o'clock? Yeah, no, you're 3 hours ahead. So yeah, so that wouldn't be too bad if people wanted to actually tune in, because I thought otherwise anything else I'm doing is like it's 7 o'clock at night here in California, which means it's 10 o'clock on the East Coast, which means, I don't know how many people on the East Coast would necessarily stay up, but I wanted to try to have it at a time when we could get more participation. And so that's what's up. And other exciting news is that I'm going to try to do a 1,000 subscriber special live stream. So I am lining up a special guest or two for that appearance. So I'm going to try to figure out when I can schedule that. But yeah, it's good stuff. I know a lot of people are excited about the tactical chat.
That's cool. So I thought maybe as a lead-in, we could post the first section of the tactics document, which is pretty much ready, and the slide deck from the combined arms talk, like in the next couple of days, ahead of the chat, so people will have had a chance maybe to look at them.
That sounds great. Yeah.
I'd rather if people look at it ahead of time.
Yeah, no, that's good. And then now what we have to try to figure out is where's the best place to put that. We could put it on I guess, the consim.
Maybe simultaneously, Facebook, consim, and does your YouTube thing have a place to put documents on?
I'll have to check and see. There might be something in the community tab where I can do that. But yeah, that would be a good spot to post it right now. Let's see. I've got somebody posted in chat here. Hey, Eric, playing the Pratzen right now. So I'm quite interested in this. So the Pratzen, I think I'd seen. I'm not sure who put it out, but there was a game that just kind of focused just on the attack on the Pratzen Heights. Is that what you're talking about, Texigander?
Everybody seems to have gone back to the lobby. Maybe.
Okay, yeah, we'll go there too. Okay. Otherwise, you and I chat forever. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
All right. Terribly exciting stuff.
I'm exhausted.
I know. Just all that clicking. All right. Well, I don't know if you guys need to chat any or if you'd already done your pre.
We should, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take a few minutes.
No worries.
Yep.
So, all right. So Texigander says, Canvas Temple Publishing. It's Saint Hilaire's Attack. The Pratzen Height. It says the Pratzen Right. Obviously, your spelling correct, autocorrect. Change that. So yeah, I think I'd seen something about that game. I don't have a copy of it. So hopefully you're having fun with that, Texigander. So, all right. How did you do over on your side of the world there, Keith? Oh, it looks like you've got stuff lined up. Looking very
I was able to
formidable.
get guys down the road and get them out of road march. And
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
good.
so
We'll
I think-
send maybe one of those small battalions over to. You got a couple of small battalions. You could send those over to Garrison, Bosnitz, and Seiwitz.
Yeah.
And that way we don't have to worry about some sort of nefarious, sneaky Cossacks.
right. I do have some cavalry kind of cavalry splitting the difference there right now. But yeah, like you said, I'm gonna hustle on those guys over there.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
Good. And Robert, did you get everything done over on your part of the world?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is they really upgrade this whoever did this really upgraded the whole thing. Yeah, I was looking at the menus now, like for the units. There's
Yeah.
all sorts of new commands and added, and
In the menus.
yeah, like unit. There's like out of command. You can put tired markers really easily.
Oh,
Even has
Yeah. There's a lot more like option trees and stuff. It
oh,
seems-
cool. Then what was there before is what you're saying.
I think so.
it seems like they're different. I don't know.
Huh. Well, it could be he might have
I
done
was
some
thinking
stuff
the same
tidying it
thing.
up.
Some of them even have something called show values. I'm not sure, but I clicked on it. You can't really see anything when you do that. It has a label. FM line time square 4. I'm not sure what that means.
Oh.
Seen that.
Oh, so it's got, if they're in line, they're times 3, square times 4, skirmish times 3.
Oh, that's cool.
That is kind of cool.
Are we seeing that?
Yeah, you have to really zoom in on the counter, though, because the label is so small.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, and it doesn't show up when you hover over it, I think.
No, and
So.
like cavalry, it only those. So it's only the fire values.
Yeah.
Then.
So, okay. All right. Let's see here. Mark is checking in from Lodi. Hello, Mark, and thank you for a tip of the old bearskin hat. Thank you for joining the old guard. Let's see. And Texigander says he's very much enjoying the Pratzen Heights from Canvas Temple Publishing. Joe Blow says, hello, boys. Thanks for posting. Welcome, Joe. And then William from beautiful Kitchener, Ontario. Oh, he won one of the subscriptions to War Diary magazine on Moe's Game Table channel. Congratulations, William. Enjoy those. That's a good magazine. I've seen issues of it. That's very nice. They do a really nice job. So, cool. All right. Let's see here. They're still plotting and planning down there in coalition headquarters. So we'll see what they decide to do.
They'll retire from the field.
That is improbable.
Oh,
I mean,
Anything's possible.
It is possible, but it's improbable that that's going to happen. So, all right.
That's all you coming down on Berkowitz there.
Yeah. I mean, these are Kellerman's light cavalry, and then this is the
Right,
my
and then you
my
had those other
heavies. Yeah.
guys. Yeah. Okay.
Coalition back here in order.
Okay. All right. We have to go back to using our secret handshake. Everybody's watching me on YouTube, and I blink out our commands
Oh,
using semaphore.
Shit.
All right. Well, if you guys are ready, we can then go into our separate game rooms. The coalition has 8 minutes to move their pieces. So
okay.
I'll meet you down in game room 1 again, Brennan, and then Keith, you and David Minery stay up here in the
Okay.
lobby.
All right, see you
Very
back in
good.
2.
Yep.
That's good.
All right, Brennan. You've got 8 minutes. Tell me where you're going to start moving, who,
I'm
where,
gonna
and what.
start here.
Okay,
This
with your
cost-
wild Cossack.
Yep, they're pretty loud. Here they go. They're gonna tuck themselves behind my favorite terrain of all time. the
Of
reverse-
course, the reverse slope, your favorite thing.
You know me.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm over here.
Okay, with the
guns.
okay, cool. So I mean, if you, what's helpful is instead of just moving them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if they change orientation like that, it costs 1 movement point.
He went through general order in the woods. So he
Oh,
comes out
okay.
and-
Okay, sorry. So it's 1. So he was in that hex, right, as he came out. Cool. No worries.
Now the 5/8's moving, right? So
Yeah.
it's 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Comes out in that other.
Yep. Cool.
Yep.
So those guys can't move through the woods because they're a regiment.
Oh,
Yeah, these guys can't either. They're a regiment.
is it? Okay.
Yeah, so you'd have to break them all down.
All right. Well, that takes forever in Vassal.
Yeah. So I
Let-
just
let-
go ahead and move them, and then
Yeah.
just break them down at the end of the movement. Yeah.
That's a deal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, your regiments are about the size of my battalions, so
That's the difference. Okay, now we're moving over to the
the Austrians,
cavalry.
okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
That's them.
I hope
Now we're over
you're
here.
feeling brave enough to move the Tsar up.
Yeah, well, he needs a little cavalry cover. I guess.
I don't have anything to attack him with other than my paratroopers.
That's right. He figures in the book, of course, quite a lot.
Of course. Yeah, the slope stuff is ridiculous for the artillery.
Yeah, I think
No, I mean, it's just like +4 going up or down. It's just like, yeah, you gotta move them down through the little breaks in the slope. Otherwise, it takes forever to get them anywhere.
that's most of the stuff that I'm controlling. I'm just going to take a scan here. The guard's not on the map yet.
Right.
Austrians are coming up. Cossacks are coming up.
Right, and I guess what that other stuff on the other side is David's
The far
stuff that's
south
on the south and
are
I guess right of
David-
Pratzen.
David Plack.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And and
Looks like it's going to be Schwerpunkt Pratzen with all your artillery moving there. Yeah. Well, that's going to make it very hot for us to try to take that hill.
it's like I don't remember. I guess historically it was a bit of a staging area for that.
Yeah.
But then they moved away from it, right? They went down into the valley.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never played the entire game. I sat in on just like maybe 2 turns of the playtest that they were doing in Tempe, and before Ed Wimble, before the game was lost for the French. But it's a huge big map. I mean, it's 8 foot long and 4 foot wide kind of a thing. So you'd need a fair amount of space to set this up. So that's why it's so nice to have this Vassal module, because otherwise I don't know how many. I mean, I've got enough space. I can get it almost the whole map on my table, but I have to fold up a little section of the very northernmost part of the map to get it to fit.
Yeah, it's a really interesting game because it's so big. There's really space, unlike many others, for very large, sweeping army scale maneuvers, which is really, really fun. It gets that, the whole sort of grand tactical army level sweeps really well.
Well, and I just noticed that with my units, I put them in the forest, 2 battalions, not knowing. Okay, so I fixed my guys. So if you wanted to take a few minutes to unpack your guys.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll go back to the lobby while we do that.
Yep, I'll go up to the lobby too.
And it's just they're very well done when they're finally released. Very little errata.
There's Caffarelli. I should pull them together and get them ready to go.
Oh, you were 1 hex shy of getting everything, David.
Yep, almost.
So Eric, I'm trying to pull Caffarelli onto the board.
Okay.
for this next turn. I think I've grabbed everything off the.
Off of the order of battle chart. Yeah. So Caffarelli, he's got, it looks like one, two, three, four, five regiments. And I don't know that he's got any artillery or anything like that with him. You've already got all of the 5th Corps artillery on the board, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and then you've got, it looks like the 5th Corps light cavalry, so you should be good in that regard.
I started to think, wow, I don't even know where those guys are on the order of battle. Then I saw them, so but it looks like I got them. All right.
Cool.
Yeah, I got lots of infantry.
Hello?
Yep. Hey,
Yeah,
Robert. Hey, David. Okay. All right. Well, that's exciting.
All right. I guess we move to the next turn, right?
Yep, we can advance the marker. It's now the 8:40 turn. So, Robert, did your regiment come in?
No.
Oh. Well, maybe next turn.
Yeah, next turn it's 2. Only
Yeah,
if
2
I
through
roll
2
a
through
1
6.
again.
Ah, well. If you wanna get consistently crazy rolls, you need to play Battles of the Age of Reason, where David and I will both testify. The best laid attack, it's all set. It looks like it's going to be perfect, and then you roll something absolutely god awful. So.
God awful.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Yeah,
So.
they got the dice rigged.
Yes, the Vassal dice, indeed.
All right. We gonna go for another turn?
I've got time. Does everybody else have time? We're coming up on an hour in, so as long as we're not planning on having too much combat.
We can get
At
through it
least
probably.
one more turn, I'm sure.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can do that. So let's have a quick powwow in French. HQ, and yep, and then we'll be back in a few seconds, guys.
Hey, hold on.
All right.
So how are things shaping up on your side of the world there, Robert?
So Dave's going. Yeah, he's going pretty much for the center. He's got some stuff opposite Solkonitz. I mean, not a lot.
Yeah.
But he does have more cavalry than I do.
Yeah, that's fine. That'll change. And what you can do is just keep shifting stuff over, send those reinforcements in, make sure that you've got, the pheasantry. You try to get another unit into the pheasantry, so that way, if like one guy routes, they're not going to be able to, move in, and it's going to take a whole time for them to occupy every hex, kind of a thing. But
Okay.
you can do that, and then as stuff rolls up, then you can start to push against them. But yeah, it looks like they got everything heading towards Pratzen. All of their heavy guns are heading that way too.
Yeah, I saw Dave was moving all that placed artillery and stuff that way.
Yep. So that's where they're going to make their stand. And then anything else exciting happen over on your end? It looks like he just moved his cavalry. Yeah,
He moved
his
them all
infantry.
in. Well, he's wiggled around in the woods there.
A little bit there in the woods. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can, as I said, move Suchet down there in front of Santon, and then put Caffarelli in there, and then Caffarelli can link up and we can use Caffarelli against anything he's got going on there in the center. So, okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, we know what to do.
Alrighty.
Bingo. do, 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 do.
I'm gonna use the timer on my phone because the timer on the computer messes up the headphones for some reason.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just kind of look at the, what time it is when we kind of start. So, I'm not.
I'd forget.
Yeah.
Oh, we had the question. It's 8 minutes for both of our sides.
Nope, it's 10 minutes for the French, 8 minutes for the coalition.
As it should be.
I'll take that.
Yeah, we have more time. The coalition only has 8 minutes to move everything.
Well, was playing 8 minutes last.
No, the French are 10, and this is how they simulate the French having a better sort of command structure kind of a thing. We get a little bit more time to shuffle people around. So,
God for me.
Were we going to
Indeed.
play with that the king takes charge rule? The Prince of Orange takes charge?
Oh yeah, we definitely need to do that. All right. Is that them coming back in? Yep. Looks like we got
Yep,
the whole
we're
gang
all
here. Okay. Well, cool. So just to be clear, the French have 10 minutes to move, and the coalition has 8 minutes to move. So,
Yeah.
okay. Cool. I'll meet you down in game room 1. Oh, well, actually, we should stop. Do the French have any charges? I do not have any charges.
Neither do I.
Okay, then there are no charges.
No charges.
No charges. So now I'll meet you down in game room 1, Brennan. And then,
See you in 2.
yep. All right. So I'll start over here with Kellerman's Light Cavalry. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Park those guys right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm moving the heavy cavalry now. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I hate it when I do that. I hit the Control C instead of the Control X. and then create like 5 million things there. It's like, it's terrible. All right. Let's see here. And we will move good old Marshal Murat over here. And get these guns over here. 1, 2. We'll just leave him here for the moment. We'll unlimber these. And we can then put these guys over here. I think I'll have them one more hex forward. Yeah. This guy can go there. All right, I think I've got everybody covered mostly. Well, not quite. This guy will have to go here. Now I got everybody covered, I think. Okay. All right, moving on over to Von Dom's division. These guys are going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 move in there. These guys. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. And they can then turn back around. Whoops. Okay, this guy's going to go here. And this guy can go here. And 1, 2, 3. We'll fade these guys back that way. Okay, over here at Punktowitz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, these guys, they can go into skirmish order. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, so it's not that. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, and these guys will go 1. They can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They'll go right there. All right. All right. I think that is it for the moment. Okay, I think we're about time.
Oh, where is there a time clock?
There is not. You just kind of look at it. So I think it was a little after, it was about 8 o'clock, more or less, when we went into our room. So, I mean, we can set a little timer on your phone with the
Oh yeah, I'm
thing.
totally not worried about it.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah, but yeah, there's one of the fellas had tried to come up with something that would allow for like a clock. There is something built into Vassal that allows that, but it doesn't always work. I don't think you guys have any fire. I do.
Yeah, you go up to the lobby and you could do that with David M.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
should we do that?
Okay, that's where we'll go. Hey, David, Mr. Minuret,
Yes.
I have a shot at you.
Okay. Let's see where we are.
These guys are going to take a shot at your cavalry that's over here.
Okay. Let me
Here.
drop on the map.
Yep. So we're over at
Okay. Highlight your target.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So these guys are shooting here. And let's see. We've got
A medium range. Looks like
Yeah.
you've got what? 16. Nope, but you got Sonja's there. That's good.
so
That'll
yeah,
be a
it's
good
going to be
shot.
16 to 6. So it's going to be 2.5 to 1. I've got a plus 6 for the leader, and then there's a plus
for
6 for the
the
size.
unit.
So plus 12.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. First fire combat of the game. 42 becomes
42,
a
that'll be one
62.
Oh yeah, because it's got to go up to 52. So that
Yeah.
should probably.
So 2.5 to 1. It's still one hit. I was really close.
Okay, do a morale check.
Yep.
I think they're fine.
Yeah, I think your guys are
Pretty
like
well.
12s or 13s or
Well,
something.
yeah,
15s.
they're elite.
So,
Okie doke.
all right. That was my big exciting.
Ooh,
First shot.
Yep, first shot. Woo woo.
war is hell.
Okay. We don't have any stuff to do otherwise, so now it's the Austrian or the Allied turn.
Okay, and Keith and I will stay here in the lobby, right?
Well, let's
We
go.
jump in headquarters and travel.
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay, yeah, good idea. Hold on just a second.
Anything exciting? You got Caffarelli on the map?
You got him on the map.
Okay.
Where do you want him?
Let's bring him over here into this zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were saying before.
Yeah.
Just had to get him
Yep.
down and information and ready to roll.
Yep.
Across the fields.
Indeed.
And then I'm bringing Suchet just down in front of Santon there.
Yep. Yep. And then we'll
And
see
I'm gonna,
what.
I'll send that maybe like a 4-7 battalion. You said.
Yeah, send a
Small-
couple of small
small.
ones over to those two little villages. So he doesn't do like he tried to do here, which was to sneak.
You're talking the two little villages, Seawits.
You got Seawits and Bosnitz. I think there's both objectives.
Oh, that little one right there. Yeah.
We have
Hey,
a question.
coalition's back with a little bit of a question and
Yep.
discussion.
What's the question?
David M., do you want to ask your question?
Yeah, Jikowitz, is it sufficient for the cavalry just to move through it?
So, give me a second here. Let me pull up the thing. I mean, you have to control all the hexes and they have to be uncontested, I guess, right? So let me find the rules.
I don't. just says the code solution need not hold the objective through the 11th turn, just occupy it once.
Yeah.
Right.
And to me, that means move through it. Because you've occupied it when you move through it. And I think at Tempe, that's the way we did it, but I don't.
So what happens if you move into the hex and then I move into the hex before you've captured all the objectives?
That's what our question is.
Yeah. So I would say that you.
Move through it. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say that you have to. You would have to, at least for one turn, for at least one turn, you'd have to hold all of the hexes.
Given my understanding of it, I would not have moved this guy there. He'd have stayed, in one of the hexes. But then again, I can't not enough to get in all of them right away.
Right.
Whatever the ruling is, we just have to, we live with it.
Yeah. So let me see if I can find what it says. I think the idea is that if it's contested, right now the village is contested, right? You've got.
Yeah, I haven't been in every hex.
You haven't been in every hex. So if I hadn't moved anything in there and then, on this turn you'd moved in and captured the last hex, then yes, mission accomplished. But since I've moved something in there, now it's contested, and it's the case is it's the last to have occupied it, right? So if you push me out and you capture what hex? Where are we at? And you capture this one here, then you at the end of this turn you will have occupied all of the villages, and therefore you would have reached that objective for victory points. But I don't think it's fair to say all you need to do is take that one and you win, right? I think you'd have to push me out and take that, and then you could.
Okay.
Yeah. So that should give you something to work on.
It's not counted by the end of the game? It's not...
Nope. It's so anytime before, as I recall, anytime before the 11 o'clock turn, if the Allies occupy all the hexes of said, village, whatever, and it's not reoccupied immediately by the French, or it's contested by the French, then they would have hit their objective.
Okay. That's certainly a reasonable interpretation.
Yeah.
So let's say that. So under that interpretation, then a melee will become necessary. Let's talk really quickly about a couple of melee questions relative to these units that are currently there in Yurzikovitz.
Okay.
One unit that's nearby is a 1913 Allied Lancer unit.
Yep.
David, do you want to flip them over?
Yeah, hold on here.
So he's got an 8-point Lance bonus. How in Premier is the Lance bonus used? Like if this Lancer comes along and attacks the village, do the Lances help?
So let me grab my handy dandy rule book here. And let's see here. I'd made a note on this because we'd had a question about it at playing at the Buckeye. So Lancers in line. The Lance armed cavalry bonus on the counter when in line formation have their lance bonus doubled and added to the melee value of each hex of the unit. But they only get that if they charge or they are the attackers.
In the melee.
In the melee, yeah.
But you can't charge into villages or hamlets.
Correct. So they would have to move in melee, right? But they're still the attacker, right?
Yep,
it says cavalry units attacking into general order terrain use 1/3 of their combat value too.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's not charging.
So
Yes.
that'll be a wash because both sides are going to be involved in that type of terrain.
Yeah. So I'm defending in general order terrain, so I'm thirded. He's attacking into general order terrain, so he's thirded. So we would just do whatever the combat is and see who gets lucky.
Yeah, there you go.
And so the Lance would count.
Yeah, because he's the attacker. Now,
Right.
in some future phenomenon, it could be that he's on the defense, in which case he doesn't get the lance bonus.
Right. Okay.
He
Here's
does if he
another-
reaction charges.
But that's then he's charging, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying they only get the lance bonus if they are
Charging in a
either
charge.
charging, and so a charge is either an opportunity charge, a reaction charge, or a full straight-on charge. Or if he's doing a move in melee, then he's going to have to he'd be the defender if he's being meleeed by me, and he did not reaction charge, for example.
Here's another question about our dragoon units and your cuirassier unit. So now we're looking possibly at a melee of a mix of cuirassiers against Russian hussars in the village. If a heavy cavalry unit attacks a light cavalry unit in melee in the village, is the heavy cavalry unit doubled when making that attack?
Well,
I think the wording sort of suggests that they would be, but then again, I haven't played Premier in a while.
so I think this is found in the charge section.
Not a charge.
No. But I seem to recall seeing the wording for that in the charge section,
Oh, okay.
unless someone saw it somewhere else. So it's here. It's in the charge section. It is under cavalry, section 35. When heavy cavalry engages light cavalry in either attack or defense through the heavy cavalry's front hex side, the heavy cavalry melee is doubled. So it's a melee. So my reading of it is doesn't matter. You could go ahead and do that.
Right. So in terms of this melee that's coming up, obviously the Russians are going to be looking, the Allies are going to be looking to generate a 5-to-1 odds of the battle.
Sure.
And in order to do that, the heavy cav will be doubled and the lance will count. And that hussar unit might have a combat strength of maybe 20 or 30. So we're trying to generate somewhere on the order of 100 to 150 strength points, including
No,
doubling.
because
And
he's
all of-
thirded.
Right.
He's thirded,
Everyone's
so-
thirded. Everyone's going to be
everyone's
thirded. Yeah.
So we're trying to generate, like our Lancer has 68, and then David M. How strong are the dragoons for their?
Like the 28 and the 27, something like. I'll flip them if you want. It doesn't matter.
They're like about they're 25ish or a little more. But they're going to get close to 100.
Right, because they'll be doubled. So you would then they would be, whatever it is, they would be 60. Practically 60 if they're 30. If they're 29.
Right.
So you'd have 120.
Yeah.
Against my potential, usually hussars are about times 3. So I got maybe 21 to 24. So you're going to have, in all likelihood, a 5-to-1
Right.
with those two.
Yeah, it's an exciting and good pivotal fight to fight, but it's still a fight, and you still never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. That was the question.
All right. Are you guys ready to go in our separate ways? And
Yeah, we'll go
We
back
should
to
take
our.
a couple more minutes for headquarters, but that was a.
Yeah.
oh,
Okay, we're going to drop into the headquarters for a minute.
Yep.
Hey, Eric.
yes.
Hold on, let me get out of the room real quick. Well, okay, yeah, hold on.
No worries, David.
So infantry in general order are a fight at 1/3.
No. Cavalry in general order fights at 1/3.
Cavalry, when attacking something in general order, is 1/3.
Or defending in general order attacks at 1/3.
but not infantry.
Not infantry. No, infantry is.
You said that, and I was scared.
Oh, did I say the word infantry? We were
Yeah.
talking about cavalry, so no.
No worries.
Yeah, it's just the cavalry that does that.
That's different, I think, from when we played the last game, where cavalry could charge into villages and stuff.
No, because those were different. So these villages are general order terrain. In Ligny, the cavalry, you had town hexes, which were one thing, and then the
Oh, so they're not like they had streets and stuff.
exactly right. So some of those hexes that had little buildings in them in Ligny were not. They were not so dense that you couldn't charge into them or through them, as I recall. The town hexes were, but in this game, these are considered general order terrain, and so that puts a stop to everything.
Okay. Alrighty.
I see a lot of flashing going on there.
Decide what to do.
Well, it looks like, they should just, instead of getting into the micromanaging, we should just have people, they should just move, kind of a thing. So,
That's the idea, right?
yeah, that's the idea. Otherwise, we're going to be here all for more time than it takes for them to move, because they've worked out all the move in their little chat. So. But I can understand that they want to try to do things right, but they don't need to. They should just say, "Hey, move this over here, move this there," instead of getting down into the weeds, so to speak. So.
If they have disagreements with each other, they should just Oh wow, that's a lot. Look at all those grenadiers.
Yeah, I think you scared him, Eric, with that.
Cavalry in it.
I don't know. They already asked all about it. They should know exactly what to do. David's a good player. He doesn't need to be babied with any of that stuff. So.
This is a big map.
It's a very big map. I was telling Brennan, it's about 8 foot long and 4 foot wide. So it is a very, very big map.
This alone will make me go out and buy a large monitor.
Yeah, in fact, when we were playing these, I made a point to get a bigger monitor just explicitly for that purpose. So.
Blame it on you. There's going to be a lot of saber swinging there in Drzykowicz.
Oh, a little bit. I couldn't just let them have it. So
It'd be a short game, right?
at least it's cost them one increment.
Maybe more. You never know.
Yeah.
But we're going
Hey guys, are you ready to go?
Each one of those.
So are you guys ready to go?
Just
Yes.
about. Yeah, we're.
Yeah, just about.
So I mean, you've spent more time. I mean, I know, yeah, doing this than the move would take. So I just normally, like when we're playing at the convention, you don't want to take so much time. You just want to say, okay, move this, you take this, you do this, and then we go.
Yep.
So keep that in mind, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I had to try to be the game referee here. Keep things moving at a decent pace.
Hey, now I'm ready for Keith.
Okay.
All right.
Room 2.
All right.
All right.
Game room 1. Or maybe not. So, David, are you doing stuff up there by Jerkowitz?
By where? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anything that would trigger an opportunity charge or an
Yep,
opportunity?
I'll give you a yell. I'm not going to.
Okay,
I'm going to.
I'll
But
go.
I don't see anywhere around Jerkowitz unless I move toward the left. Your left on Jerkowitz. I don't see anything would
Okay.
to move.
Cool.
But your
I
unit-
just
yeah.
thought I would ask, and then that way I
Yeah.
can hang out
I'm
with
aware, I'm
Brendan.
aware of that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. He came up looking for me. Hey, no, I was just asking David before he did his move if he thought anything would trigger an opportunity charge. So
Right. And
Yeah.
he said,
I don't think there will.
okay.
Depending on what he's going to do. But he said he'd give me a heads up. All right, what are you going to be moving and where at?
I am going to start with the artillery on the right over by Krug,
Krug. Okay. All right, that
and
those
then
horse
and then
guns.
move left, and then start sweeping leftish.
Okay, cool.
Ready? Here we go. Now we're moving
The horse guns, sure.
first guns in.
Here come the Russian hordes.
Yep, they finally got out of all the woods and the rough ground.
All right, the Tsar is moving up.
Yep. Now we've got column 3 over here.
Okay, cool.
Starting with its Cossacks.
Where are those guys at?
They're behind the river slope.
Ah, okay. I think I saw them. Oh yeah, those chaps. Okay. It's all getting mixed up here. Trying to keep track of who's who, where's where.
Yep. They're all. There's method to the madness, but it hasn't shaped up yet.
There's definitely madness to the madness.
I'll try you.
So did you already move this guy?
I didn't move him. That's a David Block move.
Oh, okay. Because he was
Yeah, but-
further back, as I recall.
He
but-
was here-ish. But
okay.
That's not,
All right, and those guys. Okay.
this is all David stuff. Now I'm going to move the Austrian infantry that's over here.
Okay. They are making quite the march.
Yep.
They are going to be holding the road, it looks like.
Yeah, that's their job.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
That's a good open place for Austrian linear combat if they can get there before a large front mass runs down the road.
Right.
And before too long, is this the 840 turn now?
It is the 8:40 turn. Yep.
So the Russian guard will be showing up.
Yep, at 9 o'clock, and we'll have whatever other toys that we get coming on at 9 o'clock as well.
Yeah, then the French start their main parade of all the stuff.
Yeah. Are you done moving stuff around, Brennan?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, I don't think there's any defensive fire. I don't think there's any offensive fire. Am I correct?
The Allied cannon are starting to gather, but they are not gathered yet.
Yeah. Do you guys have a leader of special ability on the Russian side?
Yeah, this really cool guy here named Muller Zakamelsky.
Oh, cool. Oh,
He's a special artillery leader. His bone is not very good, but he can bring a lot of battle.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, because I know at Moskva, there's a whole boatload of them. That makes for some uncomfortable stuff.
Yep. All right, do we go back to the lobby?
Yeah, we can do that. All right, here, let's see. We've got some comments in the chat. Stigler says, this is a straight a line as I've seen of the games. Always looking like a rugby scrum. Yep, pretty much. Steele says, can artillery fire over friendly units' heads that are 2 hexes away from the artillery? I have enemy unit adjacent to my friendly unit I like to fire at. If you're on a higher elevation or your target's on a higher elevation, you might be able to pull that off, Steele. But generally speaking, this is linear shooting. You can't do that. Stigler, rank control in Jerkowitz. Krakow Dragoons. Ukraine is represented already, yes. Fog of War with the animated pointer. Life's a blank when you charge. Okay, lots of cute comments, guys. Thank you. Hey, everybody. I was just catching up on the comments. So, all right. Well, ready to go on to the next one? Move the clock forward, right, David?
Is there melee?
I'm sure there's going to be melee.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, let's create.
So, what have you got there, David?
Okay, I think I've got 186 points.
186. Holy Zarquan singing fish. I think
Nope.
I think you've got 5-1 odds. I think it's safe to say that. Yep, I got 24. So you've got 5-1.
Rolling the dice. Plus,
Plus
I got
4 for Uvarov.
plus 4, okay.
Yep.
Plus 3.
Oh, plus 3, yeah. That's his morale boost, is 4. Okay, here we go. A 25, 26, 27.
That's going to be a DD.
It's going to be a what?
A
Okay,
DD,
well,
right? So if we look at the handy-dandy chart, defending cavalry, DD 13. Defenders route, retreat 10 hexes, lose an increment for every enemy zone of influence exited. So I will
occupy the hex also, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, you have to occupy it. Well, you can only occupy it with one of your
Yep.
stuff, and then everybody is marked as tired.
Yep.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Now your guys will be tired when they come out of.
They'll be exhausted.
Okay.
Yeah. So with the premier rules, when they recover from the route, then they are marked as, and you're going to mark them, yeah, with the tired for the Austrian side.
Yep.
So this is what I like. They've got the little red markers on it for the Austrians, and I think they got blue markers for the French. Yes. I think when I chatted with Steve, this is what he'd said. So.
Okay.
All right, and you've officially captured Jerkowitz. Good. Jerseywitz.
Jersey-Kovitz.
You're sick of it.
Yep.
Jersey-Kovitz.
You're sick of it.
Indeed. All right. Well, is there anything else that's going on in the universe? I think we can advance the clock. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, I think so.
We will advance the clock. It's now the 9 o'clock turn. Quick look at everything. Nobody's on a morale level. And that's where things stand. So, cool.
All right.
All right. Well, we can save. Mark everyone as having moved. And then we can go ahead and save the game. This is going to be the end of the 840 turn.
So we're at the 9. Okay, we did 820 and 840, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So our next turn will be 9 o'clock. So good. So with the exception of what was going on over there, anything exciting happen on your end of the battlefield, Robert?
David's continuing to move toward
The center. They're all moving towards the center. Okay, well, we'll figure out what that means. I'm not sure. They're just going to have this big, giant stuff, just everything there. We have to take it. It's like the giant donut of death. So, okay, cool. Anything else happening over on your end of the battlefield, Keith?
Oh, it's very quiet. I don't think there's a fight going on anywhere.
Well, it looks like, what did he do?
I hear some rumbling, but
he
that was like 20
pulled his
minutes ago.
Cossacks back.
Yeah.
The Austrians over here are marching towards that spot. They're going to be on guard duty over there, I guess. And that's the extent of the excitement for the moment. And in the center, we just had that one little combat, and then all this cavalry is pouring into that section in the center. So it's going to make it fun and challenging for the French.
Pretty exciting first hour of the game, everybody. Thanks, everyone, for it was really fun.
Yeah.
Well, your framework is helpful for thinking about the thing too.
That PowerPoint with the arrows on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, gives you a sense of where you can get and how much time.
Yeah.
So, well, we should all be good for next Monday. And then if you hadn't seen, on this coming Thursday evening, I'll be interviewing on a live stream Mark Hinkle, who is with New England Simulations, about his upcoming game, Winter's Victory, which is a look at, or this the Battle of Eylau, and he's using a variation on Wellington's Victory rules.
Absolutely.
So,
Gorgeous, man.
yeah, no, I've seen it. You've seen it, Dave, because he's had it there at the thing for a while. So, yeah, so that should be fun. So you guys can tune in for that. Otherwise,
What time is it?
that's going to be at 5